Yeah, hi everyone. I hope with last 70-75 days to go, your preparation of CAD is going in a great shape. And with this, I believe that there are some students who are still struggling with the LRDI sets. They are not able to crack two or more than two sets. And hence, I started to resume the best LRDI set series. Most of these sets will now be a part of the booster batch. And I may not be able to provide it for free on the channel. But yeah, this is just one of a teaser concept per se that we will discuss in the booster matches. Okay, so in this set, I will try to cover 4 sets in total as a part of this entire video, pretty much 5-6 minutes each set. Okay, so this video will be of 25-30 minutes. It will be more around concepts. How can we identify the pattern? How can we strategize in the LRDA section and solve the sets faster? Okay, so we'll particularly talk about games and tournament and a coin picking concept. I'm sure some of you would already be aware of it. So for you guys, it's just a challenge. You have to pause the video, attempt the set, and for others, you can start learning the concept so that you start covering the major concepts pertaining to CAT exam. Okay, if there are some students who still want to be a part of the booster batch, this will be owned completely by me and Shwetab, and they'll be helping hands of Rajiv sir and Bonilla ma'am. We'll cover everything quant, LRD, and verbal to the most accurate level for CAT. Okay, so this is just been started. So in case you still want to avail some discount and get started with this, I'll strongly recommend this to everyone. Okay, so with this, let's start with the set number one, which is set 51st of this entire best LRDS set series. Okay, so what this series says, so what this entire concept of coin picking is all about is, let's say for example that there are two players, right? Say Ram and Sham, okay, and they are sort of playing a game. A game can be in such a manner that, for example, you have say 100 matchstick or maybe 100 coins or maybe 100 marbles, right? And the first player has to pick up certain marbles, right? After picking certain marbles by the first person, the turn swaps, and then the second person has to then pick up certain marbles from the leftover marbles, right? And then whosoever picks last wins the game, or maybe whosoever picks last will lose the game. There can only be two variants of it, right? So in this entire concept video, we'll cover both the variants. And the major thing is, in such questions, there'll always be certain constraint. That of course, for example, there are 50 marbles placed here. I can't go and pick all the 50, right? There'll be certain constraints, which means that I can only pick a minimum of these many marbles, or maybe I can only pick a maximum of these many marbles, right? So there'll always be constraint in terms of minimum and maximum. The right way to solve such set is, you have to identify the pattern. I'll not at all suggest any of you to like do some sort of rectification and learn ki kya tricks. I want you guys to focus more on how do you derive the tricks during the exam, because 99% chances are there कि CAT में कुछ ऐसे ही set आएगा which you would not have thought or which you would not have solved in your entire preparation, and hence it makes more sense for you to understand how do you derive the pattern right in the exam. Okay? So let's start with the first variant, which says कि यार जो भी बंदा last में coin या marble pick करेगा, he is going to win the game, right? And let's learn from certain examples. So for example, this is the set number 51. Pause the video, attempt it, and then see the solution. Okay, the set number 51 says that there are two players, A and B. They are sort of playing a game in which one of them has to, one of them has, right? It has to be has. So one of them has to pick one by one. Okay, which means there are certain coins, and total number of coins there are 46, right? Turn by turn log uthayenge. Minimum and maximum is 1 to 4, right? Which means they can pick either 1, 2, 3, or 4 marbles in their turn. Okay, and the set says that the last one to pick the coin is going to win the game. Okay, which means the player who is starting the game has to ensure that he has to be the last one to pick the marble. Right, now let's assume that A starts the game. This is already given to you in the question that A is starting the game. So how many coins should be picked by A so that he wins the game? Right, which means we know for a fact that A is starting the game, right? So he has to pick certain game. Let's say we will start making certain cases that how many coins will he sort of pick up, right? So A is starting the game. So we have to identify that how many coins should he pick so that he is the winner, right? So the best thing is always make a table in such a case, and try to work around with at least 10-15 numbers so that you sort of identify the pattern. And then once you sort of identify the pattern, then this set will be a 1 minute set for you, right? So let's say for example, A can pick either 1, 2, 3, or 4 coins, right? Now, for example, let's forget about here total number of coins kitne. We don't have to go till 46. We'll try to identify a pattern very soon. So, for example, let's assume here total coins एक ही होते हैं. Okay, so we'll start to assume the pattern. Let's assume that there is only one coin and then A is starting. Right? If A is starting and then in total there is only one coin, of course A can just go and pick that coin, and because A is the person to pick the coin, जो बचा हुआ है, he is the last person to pick the coin, the winner has to be A. Right? If in case guys any of this is not clear, do comment me so that I can clarify your doubts. Okay? Now let's assume कि total coins 2 है. Now can A go and pick 2 coins? Yes, he can very well go into and he can very well go and pick 2 coins because 2 coins are sort of permissible. Then again winner will be A. Similarly 3 है या 4 है तो winner has to be A and A only. Right? Now let's consider a case कि यार अब 5 coins है. Right? अभी total 5 coins है, which means A can pick 1. अगर A एक coin को pick कर लेता है, left over is 4, and then B can just come and pick 4, right? Which means B will win. Similarly, अगर A 2 pick करता है तो B 3 pick कर लेगा. If A picks 3 coins, B is going to pick 2 coins and then will be the last person. If A picks 4 coins, B will just pick that 1 coin, right? Which means in this case, B is going to win. So just keep your eyes and ears and mind open so that you sort of try to understand the pattern, right? Now let's assume that there are 6 coins, right? If there are 6 coins, then what can A do? We know for a fact कि जब 5 coins बचते हैं मेरे पास, then the other person wins, right? For example, if I'm left with 5 coins and if I'm starting the game, then I'm going to lose for sure, because no matter whether I pick 1, 2, 3 or 4, the other person can always pick a certain number of coins and he'll be the last person to pick it, and hence he's going to win it, right? Which means if there are 6 coins remaining, A can just pick 1 coin so that the leftover coin is 5, and we have just learned that जिसके पास भी 5 coins होते हैं, he always loses the game, right? Because if A picks 1 coin, let's assume, then the leftover coin is 5, right? Then B का chance आएगा, B या तो 1 उठाएगा या 2 उठाएगा या 3 उठाएगा या 4 उठाएगा. If B picks up 1 coin, A will pick up 4 coin. If B picks up 2, A will pick up 3. If B picks up 3, A will pick up 2. And if B picks up 4, A is going to pick up 1 coin. And hence the last person to pick up the coin will be A, and hence A will always win, right? Which means 6 में हमेशा वापस से A हो जाएगा. Why? Because A is going to pick 1 coin here, right? Similarly, 7, 8, 9. सब में इसमें A 2 उठा लेगा, इसमें 3 उठा लेगा, and इसमें 4 उठा लेगा, and always A will win, right? Now again, if there are 10 number of coins, then again this is similar to 5. No matter how many coins A will pick, he's always going to lose, because again this is like a multiple of 5, right? So again you can sort of do make some cases to identify the pattern, but यहाँ से देखो pattern बहुत clearly दिख गया है. 4 बार A आता है, फिर B आता है, फिर 4 बार A आया, दो, so it has to be B, right? Which means what I end up deriving is, if the total number of coins is 5k, then the other person is going to win, right? Which means if I am the first person to pick up certain coins, and if the total number of coins left over is 5, then the other person is going to win, right? अब यहाँ पे क्या given है? यहाँ पे एक question में given है कि यार total 46 coins है, and A को उठाना है such that A wins, which means A has to pick up certain number of coins ताकि जब A उठा ले, the leftover coin has to be a multiple of 5. Why? Because if it is a multiple of 5 for B, then he is definitely going to win. Then he is definitely not going to win. This we have already derived कि जिसके पास 5 के multiples के coins होते हैं, he always loses. यहाँ पे A के पास 5 था, 10 था, he always loses and B wins, right? So A को इतने उठाने हैं ताकि leftover number is a multiple of 5, which means A is just going to pick up 1 coin so that the leftover number is 45, and if the leftover number is 45, it's a multiple of 5, so B is always going to lose. ठीक है, and hence we were able to solve this. तो यहाँ पे pattern क्या हुआ? Now let's understand कि ये 5 के है क्या? What is this 5? The only number that was given to you was 4 and 1, right? Which essentially means that this is nothing but minimum number of coins that could be picked plus maximum number of coins that could be picked into k. Min plus max का अगर multiple होगा, and if we have a pattern कि यार जो बंदा game शुरू कर रहा है, he can pick up anything from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or whatever that is, we'll just do min plus max, and A has to pick up certain number of coins ताकि leftover वाले बंदे के पास हमेशा min plus max का multiple बन जाए, right? So this is pattern number 1. Let me know in the section of comments whether this is clear to you or not, and now let's move on to the second variant. ठीक है? Before moving on to the second variant, let me ask you this question कि यार अभी तो यहाँ पे min और max 1 और 4 है, right? What if min 2 होता और max 4 होता, राइट. एंड इफ इन दैट केस अगर मान लो तुमने काफी केसेस करे और लास्ट में सिर्फ एक कॉइन बच जाता है, देन व्हाट हैपेंस, राइट. सो इन सच केसेस, व्हेन लास्ट में व्हेन लेफ्ट ओवर कॉइन आफ्टर पिकिंग अप ऑल द सेक्शंस, अगर पहले लेट्स कंसिडर अ केस किया टोटल 5 कॉइन्स है, ठीक है. मिनिमम बंदा 2 उठा सकता है और मैक्सिमम बंदा 4 उठा सकता है. मान लो ए हैज ऑलरेडी पिक्ड अप 4 कॉइन्स, राइट, व्हिच मींस बी की टर्न आई एंड बी इज ओनली लेफ्ट विद 1. नाउ द गिवन कंस्ट्रेंट सेज कि यार मिनिमम 2 और मैक्सिमम 4 उठाना है, बट ऑफ कोर्स द लेफ्ट ओवर इज 1. तो क्या होगा, तो इन सच केसेस ऑलवेज रिमेंबर दैट बी इज गोइंग टू पिक अप द लेफ्ट ओवर कॉइन दैट इज 1, राइट. यहाँ पे कंडीशंस एप्लीकेबल नहीं होती. दिस मिनिमम एंड मैक्सिमम कंडीशन इज एप्लीकेबल इन द इनिशियल फेजेस. अगर लास्ट में अब एक ही बचा, then he doesn't have a choice and he'll have to pick it, right? So what happens if I am left with coins which is less than the minimum allowed value? I'm going to pick it, right, without thinking much. Okay, so with this let's move on to the next constraint. Last set में क्या था, in the last set it was given कि 1 to 4 I can pick up anything. अभी यहाँ पे मैंने min और max को change कर दिया. Now the min is not 1, the min is not 1, the min is 2, right? So the set is pretty much same कि total 51 coins है, minimum 2 और maximum 7 उठा सकता हूँ. तो क्या होगा, exactly same pattern, रटना नहीं है बस, exactly same pattern है. क्या तुम टेबल बनाओगे कि टोटल कॉइन्स कितने होंगे एंड विनर कौन होगा, ठीक है. This is the same table that you guys are going to make. It's the same कि A starts the game. So let's assume that the total coin is 1. अभी टोटल कॉइन 1 है, तो मैंने समझाया था अभी लास्ट स्लाइड में दैट इफ द टोटल कॉइन इज लेस देन द मिनिमम नंबर ऑफ कॉइन, ही इज जस्ट गोइंग टू पिक इट एंड देन ही विल बी द विनर, राइट. मान लो टोटल कॉइन 2 है, 3 है, 4 है, 5 है, 6 है या 7 है. इन ऑल ऑफ दीज केसेस बिकॉज 2 to 7 तो अलाउड है, द विनर विल बी ए ओनली, राइट. इस पूरे केस में विनर कौन होगा, ए ही होगा. Now let's assume that the total number of coins are 8. तो उस केस में क्या होगा, if A picks up 2, left over is 6, B is going to be the winner. If A picks up say 7, left over will be 1 and B will be the winner, right? So in all the cases B has to be the winner. 8 में मैंने देख लिया, अब 9 में देखते हैं, ठीक है. तो see the thumb rule is कि यार जितना min और max होता है ना, always do a min plus max and at least उतने number of iterations तो run करो ही, वहां पे तुमको पैटर्न पता चल जाएगा. फॉर एग्जांपल इन द लास्ट सेट इट वाज 1 and 4, सो min plus max was 5, व्हिच मींस 5 तक तुमको पैटर्न दिख गया था कि यार 4 में ही जीत रहा है और 5वें में बी जीतता है, राइट. सिमिलरली यहाँ पे 2 और 7 है, तो एटलीस्ट 1 to 9 तो करना ही करना है. नाउ लेट्स अज्यूम कि यहाँ पे 9 है. इफ A picks 2 coins, left over is 7 which can be picked by B. If A picks 7 coins which is the maximum, left over is 2 and which can be picked by B. So in all the cases B is going to win, right. So यहाँ पे एक इंटरेस्टिंग चीज है कि यार जब मिनिमम नंबर ऑफ कॉइन्स को मैंने 1 से चेंज करके 2 कर दिया, देन आई हैव 2 केसेस इन व्हिच B इज गोइंग टू विन, राइट. एंड ये वाले केसेस क्या है, आई हैव टू जनरलाइज इट. व्हाट इज इट, इट इज min plus max which is 9, राइट. सो फर्स्ट थिंग इज दिस इज नथिंग बट 9 का मल्टीपल. 9 पे हुआ तो 18 पे होगा तो 27 पे होगा. सिमिलरली व्हाट इज 8, दिस इज नथिंग बट 9k minus 1, राइट. सो आई नो फॉर अ फैक्ट कि अगर A स्टार्ट कर रहा है, so A has to pick up certain number of coins ताकि B के पास कितने कॉइन्स बचे, 9k या 9k minus 1. इन दोनों में से अगर कुछ भी बचेगा ना B के पास, देन ही इज ऑलवेज गोइंग टू लूज. व्हाई, बिकॉज इन दिस केस हमने ये पैटर्न देखा था कि यार इस पूरे में A स्टार्टिंग, राइट. अगर A स्टार्ट करता है और अगर उसके पास 8 या 9 कॉइन्स होते हैं, then he always loses, which means whosoever starts the game, if he's left with 9k or 9k minus 1 number of coins, the other person always wins, right. Which means total number of coins kitne, 51. So which is that last number which is just less than 51 and which is also a multiple of 9, it is 45. And what is that last number which is 9k minus 1, it is of course 45 minus 1 and so 44, which means A has to pick up certain number of coins ताकि B के पास या तो 44 कॉइन्स बचे या फिर 45 कॉइन्स बचे, राइट. बिकॉज इन दीज केसेस इट विल बी अ फॉर्मेट ऑफ 9k और 9k minus 1, and hence the person who is going to pick and start with this pattern is always going to lose, which means 51 में से मुझे 45 छोड़ने हैं तो A can pick up 6 coins, and 51 में से अगर मुझे 44 छोड़ने हैं, so 51 minus 44 is 7, which means A can pick up either 6 coins or 7 coins. Clear? Again, ये एक बार तुमको समझ में आ गया, यू विल बी एबल टू सॉल्व सेट्स इन अ केक वॉक टाइम, राइट. 5-5 मिनट में सेट सॉल्व हो जाने. सो अगेन रिविजिटिंग, यहाँ पे मिनिमम को मैंने 1 की जगह 2 कर दिया था, राइट. 1 वाज मिसिंग, Now what is happening is minimum जहां से शुरू होता है, minimum यहाँ पे 2 से शुरू हो रहा था, and hence there were two cases. In cases were min plus max k and min plus max k minus 1. ठीक है, और वहां से जाके तुमने ये पैटर्न बना दिया. Now if I just change this and if I say कि यार टोटल मिनिमम तुम्हारा 3 है, मान लो मिनिमम 3 एंड मैक्सिमम 7 है इन द सेम क्वेश्चन, देन व्हाट विल हैपन? तो अगेन अगर मिनिमम 2 था, दो तो 2 केसेस थे, अगर मिनिमम 3 हो जाएगा तो 3 केसेस हो जाएंगे, राइट? और वो तीनों केसेस क्या होंगे? 7 plus 3 10, so it has to be 10k, 10k minus 1 and 10k minus 2. अगर इतने कॉइन्स उसने ए ने बी के लिए छोड़ दिए, then b is always going to lose, right? So 51 से जस्ट छोटा वाला नंबर कौन सा है, which is a multiple of 10k? It is 50. Then this is 49 and this is 48, right? This is the least number जो b के पास होना चाहिए था, है ना? इसका मतलब a has to pick up how many coins? A has to pick up either 1, 2 or 3 number of coins. Now this question says कि minimum number of coins that can be picked up is 3, which means ये वाला case is not possible, ये वाला case is not possible. The only case that is possible is 3, which means the answer to this question is how many coins should be picked to win this game has to be equals to 3. I'm doing it slightly faster in the interest of time. Either you can watch the video, learn things, or what I would suggest is pause the video, try to do the mental calculation, identify the pattern by yourself, and then watch the solution. Trust me, that is the way to crack LRDI. Okay? I hope all of these three variants, set 51, 52, and 53 is clear to you. If it is clear to you guys, then now I want to change. Okay? So अब मैं क्या करना चाह रहा हूँ? दिस इज द केस नंबर 2 एंड अभी मैं नया वेरिएंट लेके आ रहा हूँ कि यार जो लास्ट में कॉइन उठाएगा ना, ही इज गोइंग टू लूज इट, राइट? प्रीटी मच सेम, एग्जैक्टली सेम. देन लेट्स ट्राई टू आइडेंटिफाई द पैटर्न. क्वेश्चन इज एग्जैक्टली सेम. टेबल बनानी सबसे पहले, राइट? कि भाई टोटल कॉइन्स कितने हैं एंड विनर कौन होगा. सेम टेबल, लेट्स अज्यूम, एंड यहाँ पे मिनिमम टू मैक्सिमम इज 1 2 3 4 कैन बी पिक्ड, राइट? ए स्टार्ट कर रहा है और मुझे पता है कि जो बंदा लास्ट में कॉइन उठाएगा, ही इज गोइंग टू लूज द गेम, राइट? लेट्स अज्यूम कि कॉइन एक ही है, तो ऑफ कोर्स ए हैज टू पिक दैट one coin, right? If he picks up that one coin, then what will happen? He will lose because the last person to pick the coin will be the loser, right? So winner will be B. Let's assume दो coin है. B, A of course एक coin उठा लेगा, so that the leftover is 1, and then B has to pick it. If B picks it, he will lose, and hence winner will be A. Similarly, 3, 4, and 5. इस केस में A is going to pick up 2 coins. इस केस में A is going to pick up 3 coins. इस केस में A is going to pick up 4 number of coins, right? And hence in all these cases, B will be left with just 1 coin and he has to pick it up and hence he will lose. So the winner has to be A. मैंने बताया था min plus max के अंदर जाके करोगे तो एक पैटर्न पता चल जाएगा. The pattern that is really coming is, yes, you are right. It is min plus max k. So 5k plus 1 जो भी उठाएगा, he is going to be the winner, right? This is what the set says, which essentially means कि अगर 6 number of coins होंगे, अगर no matter A एक उठाए तो B 4 उठा लेगा, A 4 उठाएगा तो B 1 उठा लेगा और लास्ट कॉइन A को उठाना पड़ेगा and the winner will be B. So pattern is going to repeat now. अब देखते हैं क्वेश्चन क्या है. यहाँ पे we have a total of 47 coins. ठीक है, ठीक है. And we know for a fact कि जो भी बंदा 5k plus 1 number of coins जिसके पास भी बचेंगे, he is going to be the loser, right? So one way to see this thing is कि यार A के पास 5k plus 1 coin थे and hence he loses and hence the B wins, which means A को इतने coin उठाने ताकि leftover number is going to be a multiple of 5k plus 1. Now the immediate multiple of 5k plus 1, which is just before 47, is 45 plus 1 46, which means B को अगर मैं 46 coins छोड़ दूंगा, so he is always going to lose because this is a multiple of 5k plus 1 and hence A has to pick up 47 minus 46 equals to 1 and hence the answer to this question has to be 1. ठीक है. Similarly अभी next question that comes is कि यार यहाँ तो एक ही था, अब what if the minimum number of coins is 2? चमकता है कि यार जैसे minimum में हमने देखा था, जैसे first case में हमने देखा था कि if minimum number of coin is 1, तो एक cases होते हैं, if minimum number of coins is 2, there will be 2 cases. If minimum number of coins is 3, there will be 3 cases, right? So in this what will happen is, again I'll make the same here, total coins and winner कौन है, ठीक है? Let's say the total number of coin is 1, winner will be B because A has to pick it up. If the total number of coins are 2, again B will be the winner because A can pick up a minimum of 2 coins only. Okay, so he will pick it up and he will lose. Similarly, 3, 4 and 5. अगर 3 हुआ, he is going to pick 2. यहाँ पे वो 3 उठा लेगा, यहाँ पे वो 4 उठा लेगा, and hence B will pick up 1 and then the winner will be. ठीक है? Then similarly 6, 7, 8. अब ये पैटर्न सेम चलेगा, B B A A, राइट? तो यहाँ से मुझे क्या मिला कि यार जिसके पास भी 5k plus 1 and 5k plus 2 बचता है, which is min plus max k. Oh sorry, I think is it correct? एक बार और देख लेते हैं, क्योंकि min plus max is 6, राइट? तो एक बार पूरा पैटर्न देख लेते हैं, क्या पैटर्न बन रहा है. अगर टोटल नंबर ऑफ कॉइन्स मान लो 6 है और A अगर 1 उठाता है, ओके ठीक है, अगर टोटल नंबर ऑफ कॉइन्स 6 है, then A can actually pick up 4 number of coins, then B has to pick up 2 number of coins and hence the winner has to be A only, right? Similarly, if तो 6 में भी विनर A ही होगा, right? So the point here is कि हमेशा min plus max का पैटर्न बनता ही बनता है, right? And min plus max का पैटर्न here is 6k. This is 6k plus 1 and 6k plus 2. ठीक है, my bad. And hence 6k plus 1 और 6k plus 2 number of coins अगर मैंने B के पास छोड़ दिए, is always going to lose. The pattern here is that whosoever is left with number of coins which is of the pattern 6k plus 1 or 6k plus 2, that person is always going to lose. And hence A has to pick up certain number of coins in such a format. ठीक है? So this pattern is going to then repeat, which means 47 के just पहले 6 का multiple कौन सा है? 6 7 से 42. So it is 42 plus 1 43 और 44 number of coins अगर B के पास होंगे, B is always going to lose, right? Which means A has to pick up either 4 coins or 3 number of coins, right? Can he pick up 4? Yes, he can pick up 4. Can he pick up 3? He can always pick up 3, and hence the answer to this question is 4, 3. ठीक है? Now again there can be third variant कि यार 4 and 3 है, तो again उस केस में I will have 3 cases, and यहाँ से cases पता चल जाएगा कि it is min plus max k plus 1 plus 2 and plus 3. Okay, so I hope you have enjoyed this, and do let me know in the section of comments whether this is helpful. Do you want it more? And do share it with your friends, guys, so that I am motivated enough, and then in the next series I can bring in more 4-5 sets with a very new concept altogether. Okay, and if in case you want to attempt these sets in the form of a test, you can register to the booster batches as well. The batch is just starting, and that will cover such 50 to 60 LRDI good level of sets, which is different from my usual series. Okay, thank you, and I'll see you very soon.